Hello and welcome to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP on a Wednesday. Thank the Lord. It's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Wednesday. Do you remember when you were a little kid and you couldn't spell that word? And so you finally took to saying it out loud just like that. And you didn't care. You did not care if people made fun of you.
Wendy's Nuts Day.
Say,
What?
that's right.
Okay.
Or February.
Oh, that's, well,
February.
Meredith. Me read it H.
Oh, that's good. That's real good.
I could never remember that one either.
So it's Wednesday and there is a lot to talk about. We have story time with another little tidbit about Black History Month. We have hot flash news at 4. We have the 3 also in the 4 o'clock hour. Perhaps we'll talk about Tuberville and the Sharia caucus, Britt in the Oval Office, Bill and Hillary testify. Do y'all really think they're going to say anything or anything that's true? And maybe a little dab will do us of UFOs. I don't know. Because truly, all bets are off. It's Wednesday. We're caffeinated and ready to have a great show. How are you?
Y'all, we just tried to film it's not a live read because it's not live, but film an advertisement.
Yeah, an ad spot.
An ad spot. And it did not go well.
Okay, take a guess how long that last, like how long it was from when I hit record to when we just gave up. How long do you think that was?
JP, I know how long
Yeah,
it was.
Amy Beth knows how long.
Texters, y'all tell us how long did it take us to get to nothing?
Yeah,
I mean, we didn't even
nothing.
like, we need to be more, okay, I need to be more professional. I don't know why it was so funny, but I actually was about to say that made my day. And even though we got nothing accomplished, I needed that laugh.
Yeah.
And I appreciate y'all because it's always fun. Like JP had to turn around in his chair because Abs would be trying to say her line and I had nothing to do but look at JP and then he'd start laughing and then it was just a whole thing.
It was hilarious.
We're actually going to put out like the blooper reel from it or something.
Yeah,
oh, please.
Because it's that good.
It's hilarious.
By the way, it was 9 minutes.
What?
Yeah. 9 minutes of nothingness. Cheers.
So embarrassed.
So
embarrassed.
Allison
Yes, ma'am.
and I, because God knew we needed to be friends. You know how you run in circles with people, but you never get to hang out. And now we hang out every day, but we knew we'd like each other. We like the same things, think the same things are funny. And both Allison's idea was, so when we introduce Get Started with the Day, some kind of a fun fact. Like, remember the words, the medieval insults last week? Well, she has a fun German word for us today. And at the same time, last night, I was saying, hey, look, here's some German insults we can use in a sentence.
Germans?
So, Allison, how about you tell us what your fun word is, my friend?
Well, it's not really a fun word. It's actually something apparently we should all be doing. I get all these random, I must like minutia. Do you know what minutia is?
Yeah, it makes you good at Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah. Small random facts.
Yeah.
But they pop up on my social media. So have y'all ever heard of burping your house?
No, I don't even know what that means.
We should all be burping our houses.
What does that mean?
And in German, the word for it is lüften. Okay.
Okay.
And it says, this is from Apple News. It says research shows it has real health benefits. Opening windows in winter may sound counterintuitive, but in Germany, it's a daily habit called lüften, aka burping. Airing out the home to reduce mold, humidity, and pollutants. Some even practice Stoßlüften, which involves opening all of the house's windows at once for 5 or 10 minutes. And apparently it is associated with better sleep. If you do it right before you go to bed, you sleep better. It improves mental health. I don't know why.
Just opening the windows.
And yeah, and so I think what the idea is that our our houses are so well built now that they're very airtight,
Mhm.
and it traps in all the mold and the dirt and the bacteria and everything that comes in. You track it in on your pets and your shoes. And so opening your windows or your front door and your back door for a few minutes every day and burping your home is supposed to make it much healthier and cleaner.
Wow,
So
I'll
you
try
should
that tonight.
it. Maybe not when it's 5 outside, but like today when I was getting ready, because it's not, I mean, it's 50. It feels like it might as well be 100 compared to the past few days. I opened my back door, my front door, and I mean, well, the dogs ran in inside. They were wet, but I don't know if that counteracts it. But I'll see if
love
I feel
that.
better tonight. You
You
should
know
start
what?
burping your home.
Okay, I'll do it tonight. I'll open the windows upstairs and perhaps some in the back. We don't have cats anymore, so nobody's going to leap through the window.
Maybe it just whooshes out all the mold.
There's probably a reason why our grandparents would leave their front and back doors open.
Well, probably because they didn't have air conditioning.
But there's probably another reason. Like they're probably just knew that their mamas taught them about burping their home.
We don't really get fresh air much. You know, we're in
Mm-mm.
office buildings for 8 hours a day under fluorescent lights, and then we get in our cars and they self-drive us home, and then we go into our airtight home. And like, I do think there's something to be out in nature and getting fresh air,
I love it.
wafting through the home. So burp your house. Y'all tell
And
me how you feel.
Don't burp your house because you've burned something in the kitchen and have to open the windows.
Well, that's okay too.
Do it ahead of time, as Allison has suggested.
Yeah, do it for your mental health and your sleep. Because apparently it's a winter. And, you know, those people in Europe, they're so far ahead of us.
Yeah, they are. They put their babies in the cold in their strollers in winter.
Well, they also don't have AC, so
No, but they don't. But their little kids look swarthier and healthier than ours.
they do.
They're just little bundles of deliciousness. But they put them in their strollers outside while they sleep, and it's snowing
Wait, why?
because it's better for their health.
Yeah. I saw something about that. It
Mhm.
was I can't remember the country, but it was a baby that was like
Germany.
bundled up, and it was in a crib, and like you could see just the baby's face, and it was under all this snow, and it's a thing.
It's a real thing.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. So what is the theory?
We'll
I
have to
thought
look
if you
up the
went
theory.
outside and got cold, you got sick.
Mm-mm,
Well,
that's not true.
I
That's
guess-
a wives' tale.
It's supposed to
Strengthen your
Yeah,
immune system.
I guess strengthen the baby's immune system.
We'll have to look into it, but it's interesting. I've seen it, and I saw that same thing. But just baby lining the streets while moms had their lunch, and the babies were in their strollers. And then there was another one I saw, and I think it was from Sweden. I don't know, of the babies literally in the snow in a little, pallet covered up, obviously sleeping. Just sleeping. We're gonna go find this out, figure out what the deal is. Mine is not as fun, but I think we all know this one kind of person. There's a bunch of insults. I'm only going to give one today because some of these words are excellent. We all know this person. You ready for this German insult?
You're not saying the one you said.
I can't say
Yeah,
that.
don't
Okay,
say that
okay.
one.
Okay. Because even though if I spoke German and I said it, it wouldn't be insulting. It would be insulting here. This one is a joy disturber. It's a person who spoils enjoyment or dampens the mood of others. You ready for this word? Freudenstorer.
I beg your pardon.
Freudenstorer.
Bless you.
Yeah. They
Freudenstorer.
steal your joy.
They steal your joy. They're joy stealers.
like they just can't handle
They just
people being happy.
Squash it. Squish the mood. Y'all know people like that. Don't
Yeah.
you?
Like nothing's good. Everything's bad. Nothing's fun. And if it is, we got to ruin it.
Yeah. Do you know people like that? Do you know?
Yeah,
Do you know some ruiners?
I do. Well,
Freudenstoerers?
yeah, I do know some ruiners. Yeah.
Which
Don't be a ruiner.
don't you think those people are just unhappy in general?
Yeah, I think the majority of them are liberals too.
You think so?
What? I'm serious. They're like the most unhappy people ever. I think they really enjoy being miserable. And it's like a show of strength if you're the miserablest person
It's great.
out there.
You're
you
not
are
wrong.
super cool if you're really depressed and miserable
Yeah, I
and
can't be
hate
happy.
everybody.
The world is so bad.
You remember that video that we we played of that girl who's like, I hate getting up. I hate going to bed. I hate going to work. I hate
Mhm.
not working. I hate my life. I don't want to breathe. I hate you. I hate, you're like, what?
Yeah.
And she was so serious and she was kind of proud of it. This is weird. She's a Freudenstrudel.
She is a strudel. That's the word now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a strudel.
Freudenstrudel.
Don't be a joy stealer. Just
Mm-mm.
don't.
Don't be a ruiner.
Don't mood ruiner. Don't be. Although we're going to ruin some moods with some of the conversations we're having today.
Ugh.
They're some of them are great. Some of them we're going to have to slog through them.
I like that word, slog.
That's a fun word, isn't
That's
it?
what I do. That's how I run.
You slog.
It's a slow jog. I just slog.
You slog.
Yeah.
And you can feel yourself going through the swamp.
Yeah. It's not even really a run.
Yeah.
Do we have a montage?
We do have a montage. We also
Okay.
have a guest at 2:30.
Oh, snap. Should we tell him who it is?
No.
Or make it a surprise.
No.
Radio Theater.
Okay. Well, Radio Theater is going to tell you don't want to miss this at all. And you're just going to have to trust us because it will be a banger and you don't want to miss it. So we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP, and we are getting ready to have some radio theater in one moment, but we can't tell you yet. So y'all are going to have to wait for a few more minutes, and then we'll tell you. We'll tell you.
Okay. I'm trying to stay cool.
Can you keep it together?
No, I'm trying. I forget
We
have a show
already
to do.
failed at doing a live read, but it's okay. It's a great day. And so some of the stories we're looking at that were not in the montage that we wanted to talk about right quick are two of them. One we'll talk about later, and maybe we'll cover it at the 3, is all the stuff. Maybe you've heard about what's going on at Camp Kanakuk and that Christian camp, and they're coming after Sean Ryan. But what I found interesting, and I really want to revisit, is they didn't say that Sean was lying about the director who was arrested and went to trial and is in prison.
They just told him to stop talking about it.
Yes,
correct?
they did.
And I mean, I've heard stories. I have so many friends who send their kids to camp there and have. It's kind of the cool kids camp, I feel like. But I remember hearing stories about hot tubs and just weird stuff years ago. And then it all kind of disappeared. And all of a sudden, Sean Ryan pops up in the narrative, and I don't get it. But kudos to him, because he is not backing down. He got a cease and desist. They said he had 10 days to take it down. And he said, the 10 days have passed and I'm still not taking it down. And he went through, maybe we can play it. He went through all the things that he said
Yes.
That are just factually true. They just don't like that it's out there. But it looks like it almost looks not just like isolated incidents of this happening. Look, I don't know exactly, but it looks like almost a coordinated
a pattern
that was at least allowed to go on, if not maybe, I won't say encouraged, but I mean, it's been too many years for this to be happening that nothing has changed.
And as typical, this is the part that bothers me. Some of the girls suggested that they, in the USA Today article, had been groped. And when they were brought in for conversation to tell their, lead counselors or lead whoever what had happened, the girls were blamed. So some of these girls are speaking up, and that I'm sorry to say that I'm not surprised, but that was the part that made me want to scream. So yeah, I think later on, let's play that, because it is a big deal. It is a camp that has been around forever. Forever. You see Camp Kanakuk stickers on people's cars, and they're so old they're peeling off.
Yeah. And again, these are just allegations. Now, some of them are proven. Somebody's in prison for it. Those aren't allegations. Those are convictions. Some of the things that are coming out, and we're just hearing what's happening and gathering information. But I think it's worth, especially as people are probably thinking about summer plans, just do your homework and be sure that you're sending your kids to a place that has good oversight. I mean, there's a risk anytime you send your kids away with anybody, whether they're going to spend the night at a friend's house. I mean, you just don't know. You can't protect them and put them in a bubble, but you also have to make wise decisions with the information you have. And this is just one of those times that there might be something systemically going on there that they haven't dealt with yet. Not to say there aren't good people there. I think there are good people in that camp. Surely not everybody knew what was going on.
I don't know about that, but I read it and I was like, this is why I never really sent my kids to camp.
Camp is so much fun, though.
Oh,
Did you ever
man.
go to Girl Scout camp? Or
No, I did
Young
not.
Life camp?
No, I did
I
not
never went to
enjoy
camps
camp.
either.
My husband sums it up perfectly when at 9 he went to camps. What's the girls' camp? Skyline, or what's the boys' camp? Whatever
know.
camp it was in Mentone, he went to the boys' camp. I think my sister went to Skyline anyway. So he writes letters. He's so miserable. He writes letters to his grandmother and says he's going to run away from camp. So his parents show up and take him home. And he's like, I never wanted to go to camp again. Unless, of course, it was basketball camp. That's exactly how I felt. Now, I loved going to Camp Briarwood. I loved my counselors. I never could go on the spend the night week-long thing. I enjoyed that. But I'm just not. And the first time we went camping as newlyweds, do you know what happened? This is so horrifying.
not
This is
camp.
it is. We were outside in a tent with our friends. Like, it was really fun. And then I hear a pew, pew. I'm already asleep. Chris is out with our buddy. And I think the other wife had gone to sleep too. And he was like, hey, don't tell AB what you just did or she'll never come camping again. They
What
had
was it?
shot a water moccasin.
Oh, well, rightfully so.
And I'm like, I am out. But all that to say, I'm not a fan of camp. I'm just not.
That's camping. That isn't camp.
That's
Like
kind of.
Young Life Camp was the best time. Y'all missed out on childhood.
Did we?
Yes, and we're going to talk to Phil Williams after the break, y'all. He's in studio. He'll tell you how much fun Young Life Camp was. So funny that he was Young Life leader. Yeah, we have Phil Williams with us. He looks very professional. He's got a tie
Very
on.
serious.
He's like going to
Yes.
be Mr. Trump. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair, JP, and the GOAT, the OG. You do have
Aw.
applause, don't you, JP?
How about the
Phil Williams.
Oh my gosh.
Hello.
Hello.
How are
You
you?
ruffians out there in ruffian land and you guys here in the studio. This is awesome, by the way.
It's
I
the
love
first
this.
time you've been
So
to the
happy you're
treehouse.
here.
It is. I mean, and I walked in the door and it just has a cool factor to it. So
I'm so
great
glad you
job on the
like
studio.
it.
I mean, I love it. And in fact, I think that
You like the
that
background?
neon light
It's-
is still my fave.
Oh,
but,
we
yeah.
knew
It's my favorite.
right where it was going.
Well, it frames y'all quite well.
Well,
Yeah, we
we
love it.
have enjoyed. I mean, it's funny. We come up here and we do our thing and we live in our own little bubble, and it does feel a little bit like a clubhouse. And so, welcome to the clubhouse.
I am proud to be in the clubhouse.
It's like you're the president of the club, but you just are coming here for the first time.
Emeritus. I'm the
That's right.
graybeard guy. I'm
That's-
the emeritus. so,
Yes.
anyway,
We hope you'll come back often.
I'm for that.
Because you're going to be
So-
in town some.
Yeah.
Apparently so. They tell me if we can get through the process, but yes.
So, how is the process? Can you give us an update?
Well, let's just say that I worked as a TS-SCI level cleared guy doing what's called SAP level projects in the Pentagon, and I did a lot less for that gig than I'm doing for this one.
Mm.
But it's all good. I get it. We are, let's see, how many interviews have I had? I don't know. I'm past all the interview phases. So they just had to finish up all the background checks. And one of the interviewees or interviewers from, I think, the White House said, Mr. Williams, we've got to say, we usually interview people who've just been lawyers. And I went, I get it. You got a little schizophrenic resume you got to deal with here. So they had
Yeah.
to go and research my political, my military, my educational, my media, my lawyerly. So all that stuff. is-
Wow.
Anyway, but we're tracking, and they told me today, as I rolled into your parking lot, literally, they told me on the phone from DC, it appears we have reached what they call pre-clearance, and I should be going before Senate Judiciary in the near future.
Are we, does that mean that you are physically going before them, or does that mean batch before them? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, for U.S. attorneys, they typically don't do a formal come see us hearing. I don't know. They might look at my resume and go, "Get that guy up here. We want to
Yeah,
pick
you
that
might
apart."
be sketchy
I don't
enough
know.
that they need to bring you in.
Well, just in
But-
case you do have to go up there, two people that would go and just be like, we'd keep it together, for the hearing,
I feel like
but secretly be like, pick him. He's great.
we
You could be
know
my-
him.
We know
Fine.
him.
Hallway walking lobbyists, just yeah.
Yeah.
So what does it look like once you have pre-clearance clearance? What does it look like to have clearance, real clearance?
Well, I think I can see it from here. So my understanding of the process, because it's the first time I've done this, but my understanding of the process is DOJ, the FBI, and all of them in the Office of Government Ethics have all three run the scrubs on all of my life.
Hmm.
And they have offered up that they see this as a pre-cleared subject ready for Senate Judiciary confirmation, or at least hearings. And so pre-clearance means I've been vetted and the I's are dotted, T's are crossed as best they can tell.
Mm.
Then I go to Senate Judiciary. And in this case, our Senator Britt is on Judiciary. That's wonderful. There's some great allies, I believe, on Senate Judiciary that see the Trump administration as picking the right people. And then the Democrats won't like whoever it is, no matter what.
Mhm.
So
But then once you get through that, what does your life look like on like a daily, weekly basis? Where are you? Are you in Huntsville? Are you in Birmingham?
Yeah.
Are you in a courtroom? Are you sitting behind a desk and just pointing to people?
So the So the Northern District of Alabama is, so I'll be, my official full-throated title will be U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Alabama, and that's considered one of the larger districts in the nation. 31 counties in the state,
Oh, wow.
and the two there's courthouses, of course, all over. There's courthouses in Huntsville, Birmingham, Anniston, and Tuscaloosa. But my offices are going to be in Huntsville and Birmingham.
Okay.
And between the two, we have about 100 staff. And
No, you have 100
I have
staff.
100, exactly.
I have a question,
Yeah.
sir.
Wow.
What is y'all's typical caseload? Like, what do you do? Because you see the title, I've seen it my whole life, but what does that mean that you're going to be taking on as the district attorney?
So if you had to look at it, there's the major divisions are going to wind up being criminal, civil, and appellate. And the criminal division winds up having the bulk of my outsider looking in. I mean, I literally just toured the office this morning, but I would say that probably 60% of what comes through that office is criminal. So when they're prosecuting Nicolas Maduro, that's a U.S. attorney's office is doing that. When they're prosecuting, child exploitation, human trafficking, drug running, violent crime, and it has federal crimes attached to it, that's a U.S. attorney's office that does it. So they've got great assistant U.S. attorneys in these offices who they do criminal. And then the ones who do what I call God's work, they handle the child exploitation, child pornography cases, which I cannot even imagine what they have to look at in order to view the evidence and then indict and then convict. But so there's the criminal is huge. And then the civil, of course, basically every time the U.S. government gets sued by somebody, or, a postal truck has an accident at an intersection that results in a lawsuit, those are all being defended or prosecuted or basically tried by civil attorneys, among other things they do. And then there's also homeland security issues, national security issues. And then the appellate division is those things that go up on appeal still have to have somebody to handle the appeal. So anyway, bottom line is got a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
it's
you
a
do.
whole lot of stuff. Are you ready?
stoked.
You're military. You can be a leader. You got this. You can delegate, right? Because you can't do all that on your own.
Oh, no. In fact, I would bet that my time in the courtroom is going to be more along above an appearance. I'll be lead guiding and directing the office.
Yep.
Okay.
Triaging the cases, helping to make sure the management and the decision making, and then putting a pretty face on it for the press conference or whatever else.
Are we allowed to take a tour?
Do what?
Are we allowed to take a tour of your office at some point?
We will work that out.
Do you do field
For y'all,
trips?
yes. Do what?
Yeah, we need a field trip to see. Uncle
we want to
Phil
see. Yeah.
and hang out and see. I mean, what a unique opportunity.
It's incredible. And I'll be honest with you, I never saw this coming. Like I've said on the air here before, I never saw this coming. This is not something that Phil and Charlene sat around thinking, well, let's see, what could we aspire to? I never saw this coming. But within the practice of law, this is one of those pinnacle positions. This is one of those things that if you have the opportunity to serve as one of the only 93 U.S. attorneys in the nation and lead an entire district, especially a large district, especially when you're being nominated by a president who you deeply respect. Like I cannot imagine what it was like for that office to have to serve during previous administrations, but I am stoked to serve under this one because I think the priorities are in order. So yeah, all good.
It's very
so
cool.
Pretty fired
we have some questions.
Well, let's hope I have some answers.
Okay. So could we start in Irondale? And could we start with that mayor saying that people are being hunted down and dragged out of their houses and he's not going to help? But just lying, provably false statements. But how should we look at ICE and what's happening? Because so many people are losing their mind and they're saying, I shouldn't be here at all. How dare they? And then you have mayors like that are lying, let alone, Jacob Fry in Minneapolis. But help us view that properly.
Yeah. So Tom Homan, Trump's border czar, gave a great press conference just this morning in Minneapolis. He's gone there to try to bring some steady state, direct authority from the president kind of response to the discussions going on in Minneapolis. And he even said this morning, he said, this is nothing new, not the violence in his job. He said, this is nothing new. He said, I've been serving in ICE and Customs and Border Patrol now for over 3 decades. He said, all we do is act like law enforcement enforcing the laws. If you're breaking the laws and it falls into our purview, we'll be there to arrest you. And that's it. And, and I also heard, I think it was Secretary Noam said the other day, someone needs to take a look at some of the cities that are not having this problem. Because what's happening is leadership in those cities has said, we believe in the enforcement of, the criminal laws. We believe in safe streets. And we also know that when federal law enforcement comes in, they have their job to do and we'll assist them as best we can. And guess what? We don't have violence. We don't have protests. And so the Irondale mayor is pandering to some base that I don't think matches the rest of this district, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I think it was Secretary Noem again said, we might ought to take a look at Memphis, where a Democrat mayor collaborated with federal authorities and they have had no riots and it's been cleaning up crime like crazy. How hard is that? So yeah, the mayor of Irondale just needs to stop, catch his breath, and stop getting out there trying to make the headlines on the Daily Beast or, Huffington Post, and recognize that he has a job to do. He swore to uphold and defend the Constitution of the U.S. and the state of Alabama. And guess what? That also means enforcing crime.
So would your office, I mean, that's, the federal government coming in, he's saying he's not going to cooperate with ICE. Would your office at all be involved with that?
If there was a prosecution to
If
be
there was
had,
a prosecution.
which I guess would lend towards the issue of right down the road in Alabaster, we just had an ICE agent who was assaulted by an illegal alien with a knife. And that is absolutely something that could well come before my office. So I can't talk about the details in that regard, but that's the kind of thing that my office, future office, could wind up having to prosecute.
It's coming home. I mean, it's weird. We watch what's happening in Minneapolis and it feels so far away and just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like the Summer of Love, watching Chaz, you remember Chaz
Oh,
and all
yeah.
that, how strange that was. But when we heard about what happened in Alabaster, that's just,
That's our backyard.
you gotta be careful.
That's
Yeah.
right here.
It's
Mhm.
right here.
That's in the reddest of red states in the nation.
Yes.
Now, granted, we have a little more of a blue, political situation in Birmingham, but that still means what in terms of the laws? It's still the law.
That's good. It's so simple.
Yeah.
And I think we're not getting caught up in it. We're observing it, but it is so simple. And I think that's something to keep in mind when we're dealing with maybe friends or family who are losing their minds over it. Bring them back to it's the law and it's just going to be enforced.
Yeah.
It just is. And you don't have to like it. But I think people think they must like things in order to agree with them.
And if you
And
interfere with law enforcement, guess
Yeah.
what? You're as much a part of the problem as anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil,
Hey,
I don't know if you know, but in radio, you have to take breaks.
I
And
have this vague remembrance of things like that. Like my life is governed in 4-part sections of an hour.
so we've got to take a break, but I hope you can stick around. Kind of want to talk about Inspire Advisors, and
That's very cool.
They've made some national headlines
Mhm.
actually for doing the right thing. And so we'll talk about that on the other side. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. At this point, it is hard to remember that we are doing a radio show because we're being regaled with stories that are just unbelievable. That's okay. It's casual. We're trying to act like we've been there before. Get yourself together, Shaver. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP and the GOAT, Phil Williams, soon to be a man with a very long title you've been places. Like, you mean, sometimes you're like, I've been in DC and
Just hung out with
the president
Dawn
and such.
Dawn and I just chilling.
Casual.
Yeah. So tell us about that, because you had a great spot in that photo
Oh, wow.
of all the
How cool was that?
U.S.
That was
attorneys.
awesome.
Well done.
Well, so the story on that.
Yeah.
So we go to the White House, and I'm thinking this is going to be. I think I undersold it in my mind. Like, I know I'm going to get a photo op with the president. This is great, but I figured they'd usher us in, snap the photo, usher us out. I don't know why I thought that, but when I got there, we walk in as a group, and they roll out the red carpet. So we walk in the White House, the same portico where you see heads of state come in. And all that.
Stop. The one with the guy standing
And
there.
the big lantern hanging down, and that whole thing.
Yeah.
So we walk in, and they've got a Marine in full dress uniform playing the grand piano in the lobby for us, and I'm thinking, holy cow, this is legit. And they said, the president will be with you shortly. Please make yourselves at home, wander the downstairs of the White House, and we'll call you together in a few minutes. And I'm like, what?
You're like, we're not in
Wait, hang on.
Montgomery
So what's
anymore.
running through your head?
What's running in my head is this real? I mean, little old Phil Williams, is this real? But it was real. So we're walking around. Everybody felt the same way. You could tell we're all like getting selfies, and doing the thing. And then eventually they called us in, and the president was going to be meeting us. So they put us in this very large room, which I've seen on TV. He holds events there and cabinet meetings and things occasionally. And we go in this room, and they've got these risers, kind of like a choir would stand on. So we're going to stand as a group on these risers. And my first thought was that the president will stand in the middle. So I'd see if I can get as close to the middle as possible.
Smart.
And so I started walking towards the middle, and dang, it's like the parting of the Red Sea. All of a sudden, the spot just kind of went boop, and it opened up, and I went, yep. And I stepped right into it. So if you look at the picture, it's like the president and the shortest guy in the room in front of me and me. And I could touch the president's head.
Did you?
No.
Did you
Did
think
not.
about it, or at least want to touch
I
his
felt like
suit?
that would be bad form. But no, it was just, and I'm thinking, well, this is cool. This is beyond cool. This is more than I deserve. And but I'll tell you what's funny. I'm breaking in a new pair of boots. I love to wear boots with my suit. I got that from my dad. And I just got a brand new pair of boots for Christmas. So I'm wearing my new pair of boots. I'm feeling pretty good about me. And I didn't know the bus was going to drop us off a half mile from the White House. So I walked the concrete sidewalks in the freezing winter in my new boots. Get there. They put us in the stands. We stood there, I kid you not, for 40 minutes in the stands.
Oh.
Just waiting.
Yeah.
So your dogs are screaming at this
And
point.
in my mind, and you've done pageants and all that. So in my mind, I'm thinking, don't lock your knees. Don't lock your knees. Don't lock your knees. And I've done enough military formations where I've seen guys fall out from that, right? I'm thinking, don't be that guy. Well, at some point, I almost felt like that guy. I mean, I literally felt like I had this moment of, ooh, get your deep breath. The president comes in. He talked for another 40 minutes, which I didn't mind a bit. It was very cool. Here I am standing there 20 feet from the president. He's addressing us as a group. But that's an hour and a half of standing there. My feet were, I thought my feet were going to come off my legs.
Oh.
And then we got the picture made, and it was all great. But the president literally stood right in front of me, which, I'm not usually a groupie. I'm not the kind of guy that geeks out over meeting.
Yeah.
But I was having me a moment, just be honest.
Yep.
So
That's a big one.
it's a lifetime thing.
That
It
is
is.
very cool.
It's very cool just to see the picture and now to hear the story. So I need to know, when you got back to your hotel, did you fling your boots across the room? Did you take them off nicely and just sit there and like let your feet recover? Because that's no small thing, sir.
Anybody who's ever worn a new pair of boots knows that getting them off your feet is another story all in itself.
It's true.
So I just about lost my religion trying to get them off my feet. But,
Yeah,
but
and
they're
that
wearing them
was
now, so it must be they broke in.
They're
actually
okay.
very ambitious of you, because all of DC, everything's marble floors, everything is miserable. I don't care if you're wearing, even tennis shoes will hurt your feet by the end of the day.
Mhm.
So you must have really been excited about those new boots.
I was feeling pretty
like a
pretty
little
saucy.
kid.
I was
That's
feeling
kind
pretty
of
saucy
cute.
in my new boots.
That's great. Oh, That's great. Oh my goodness.
Well, what do you have the rest of the day? Anything fun?
Well,
Or do you have to go do work?
I don't have a radio show, so what's crazy is I've had multiple days where I'm sort of helping out at the law firm, which I no longer own my law firm anymore. As I told y'all during the break, I have burned the ships. There's nowhere to go but forward.
And God's got you. You're going to be there soon, and then you're going to be like, "Gosh, I wish I could go back when I didn't have to manage 100 people."
Well, that'll be fine.
You're going to be so good. God made you
looking
for
forward to it.
this, and this
Yeah, he did.
is really congratulations. And you'll be in Birmingham more. So, well, I don't know if you can go. Can you come talk to us when you take office?
How can I not come talk to
Okay,
you?
okay. I
Okay,
didn't
good.
know
Whew.
if they're like, you can't talk to the
Yeah.
media.
Cut them off too.
I'll find out all the things to find out, and I'll let you know when I find out.
Well, you have
Okay.
to come back because we're basically neighbors now.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
All right.
Phil Williams. Awesome.
Love all you ruffians.
Oh,
By the way, a lady at church told me
Sweet.
to tell y'all she loves those ladies on my show.
oh
I
Thank
said,
you.
it's not my show, it's their show, and I will
sweet
tell them you
lady
said
at
so.
church.
Thank you.
We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. See, wasn't that awesome to have Phil Williams on? I know I'm going to act right, but what a good man.
Just ignore me.
What a
Sorry.
blessing he's going to be in his position. And you heard it. We're going to take a tour of his office and hopefully have some check-ins with him when he's able. Not necessarily to talk about any of the cases, but just to check in because he's Phil. Okay.
He looks good. He looks rested, which is weird because I know he's had a lot of paperwork and that's not always fun. But did you think so, JP? I thought he looked really good.
I did. Yeah.
He
I can
looked
tell
happy.
he's ready to go.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes it's good to get to the point where you're a little, you're ready.
yeah.
You know, not when you feel like, well, he's going to feel like he's been thrown into it, but you've had time to kind of unwind from your old life and you're ready for your new. And
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I know conversations I've had with him, he's chomping at the bit to get going. So I think he's nearing the end. I think he's excited.
This is incredible.
Aw.
So, anywho, how about this? How about a montage?
For news.
And then, of course, President Trump wants same-day voting, mail ballots, get rid of these voting machines. There's a half a dozen people, whether it's the House or Senate, Larry, that are up here as we speak, that did not get elected. It was all bogus because we've seen the evidence, and if we don't straighten that out, you're going to see a lot more of it this fall.
Mr. President, this is just unprecedented leadership. The fact that you got everyone to come together and actually get these bills across the finish line, you heard it from the Speaker that hasn't happened in a long time. So 96% of the government being funded, your priorities put in place, Mr. President, so that we can make the country safer, we can make it more prosperous, and not only can we make America great again, but we can tell people now America is back.
If it comes down to me taking out myself and my kids versus us being taken and harmed by ICE, like, God help me, I did not want to do it.
I need to talk to you about something serious. Last week, I received a demand letter from lawyers representing Kanakuk Ministries, a Christian summer camp in Missouri. They're threatening to sue me for defamation because of something I said on my podcast with Congressman Ro Khanna.
One of the asks that I've put into the White House, and I think that they legitimately are trying to make happen, is a series of visits to some of these locations that where it's reported that that these materials or objects or craft exist or the bodies exist. The White House has told the DoD to make it happen.
But, I will say this, I think I can say, what do you think, Lindsay? My second term is blowing my first term away. And my first term was really good.
Reagan plus.
Reagan plus, yeah. Well, whatever.
You know what? In a world of just cloak and dagger politics, is it not refreshing? I really don't care at this point in my life if you like him or not. Is it not refreshing for somebody to say what they actually think? Enough that people are like, that's not very presidential. Maybe not. But we're the rest of us, the normies, the Rams, are tired of all the subterfuge. We like that. Plain spoken. Whatever, Lindsay. Whatever.
I don't know why I found that so funny. Yeah.
Because it's funny. Whatever.
Shut up, Lindsay. We just let Lindsay in here just because he wants to be here.
Bless it. That's so funny. All right. Number one. Could somebody tell me more about Trump accounts, please?
Oh, was that on there?
Was that on the first story? What was the first story? Was that not about the Trump accounts or was that about the aversion of the shutdown?
The first one was Tuberville talking about the SAVE Act and how all of the people he's claiming that so many people up in DC weren't even like rightfully voted in because of illegal voting.
You know what I was doing, you guys? Do you
What's
ever
that?
do this?
What?
Reading the ticker at the bottom. I was reading
while
the
you were listening.
ticker. All right. So SAVE account, people elected, not actually fully elected. We've got problems.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've heard about that. What do you guys think?
Tommy Tuberville is just burning the whole ship down on his way out. And I kind of love it. But what he was saying so bluntly was And he said two things. Number one, he said, we got to get rid of voting machines, which I think is significant. And if he comes back as governor, is he happy with Alabama's voting machines? Is he happy with Alabama's voting laws and processes? I don't know. The other thing he said was there was half a dozen people in Congress, half a dozen, that weren't even rightfully elected to be there. And that is significant, which means he has names. I mean, if you can come up with 6, that means you know 6 people. And I've never really heard anyone speak that candidly from in his position to say it so boldly that this is happening.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I don't know. I thought that was very, he's joined the Sharia Free America caucus, and he actually led the press conference yesterday. I think actually, I don't know if he led it, but he did speak. He's the only senator to do that. And I just, Tommy Tuberville, say what you want. He's not smart. He's not. Look, I don't need you to be freaking Einstein up there. Just do the right thing and stand for the right things and be willing to put yourself out there and say, hey, we need to get rid of voting machines. And he did it.
So a couple of thoughts while you were talking. Number one, do you think it's possible do you think he's met Dr. Douglas Frank? Because wouldn't that be an amazing connection if we have a governor, and right now a candidate for governor, who's that interested, who brought up something that incredible, saying that 6 people up in DC weren't rightfully elected, means he's looking into things that other people are like, that doesn't exist. That's ridiculous. Could we, I wonder, get the 2 of them together or in contact with one another, obviously his staff?
Yeah.
Because that means maybe instead of pretending to look at what's going on with voting in Alabama and celebrating, and there are things to celebrate. When you do something right, we celebrate, except it's not the whole picture, is it? And so as we listen to Dr. Frank, and I really want to hear him speak when he comes back in March, you realize what trouble we really have. So that's number one. I wonder if we can get them connected. I know that sounds diabolical.
No, it doesn't, because and this is what I've never understood about whatever side of the aisle you're on. You should want elections to be integriful.
Is that even a word?
I just made it up.
She made it up.
Full of integrity is what it means.
It actually is a word.
Integriful?
Yeah.
No.
Integriful. Okay. Well, sorry. Isn't a standard English word, but is a creative blend of integrity, wholeness, honesty, soundness, and full. Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, we're just going to say it's real.
So then could we ask him about paper ballots? Could we ask him about, I don't know if anybody's going to be willing to ink their thumb.
Well, because if you're Tommy Tuberville, yes. I mean, the whole world, well, the left is out to get him right now, for sure, with all these things they're putting out against him. If Alabama elections aren't secure, y'all, I'm not saying they're going to cheat, but like, what if he gets beat? Wouldn't you want to know for sure that your election was solid, whatever side of the aisle you're on?
Yeah.
But if what he's saying is true, there's no guarantee that the outcome in any state is actually the fair and correct outcome, that votes weren't manipulated, that these machines weren't tapped into and votes changed. We've seen it. I mean, somebody texted me this morning. Did y'all see the numbers that are coming out of Fulton County? Okay, so this is why we need to get the 2 of them together. There were 148,000, roughly, absentee ballots counted in the 2020 general election in Fulton County. Okay, 148 were counted, but only 126,000, okay, I rounded up, were recorded as casting an absentee ballot. Okay, so
I'm
that's
sorry.
a 22,000 vote difference. They recorded 22,000 more absentee ballots, or they counted and have were included in the election total 22,000 more ballots than were actually turned in. Okay. Do you know Biden supposedly won that district by 11,000 votes?
Yeah.
You don't say.
So that's the difference.
And that right there,
Did that make sense? What
It
I
does.
just said?
Yes, it did.
Okay, because
that right there is why we're here, because we love connecting the dots. Most people listen to that and go, so? Well, now you know Biden won by 11,000, but they just magically had 22,000 extra ballots. It is easy to say, screw it, I'm not going to pay attention. Who cares? Because it doesn't matter. They never get in trouble anyway. Well, now they are looking into it. Now we are understanding this really matters. And maybe we have a chance with the future governor who would actually care about really getting into what's happening with our voting in Alabama. That's why these numbers matter. That's why it matters that we watch what's going on in Fulton County. That's why that matters, because they've been cheating since forever and they're not going to let go of the cheating. The cheating's going to stop, even though they're hanging on with their like cold, dead fingers. That's why these things matter. We have to pay attention, because if they're cheating there, they're cheating here. They're just cheating in a different way. They're just doing it sweetly, like you would never believe it would happen in Alabama. That's crazy. But maybe we can make a real difference with the future governor who looks like he cares. That's refreshing. That's like reason for hope, isn't it?
yeah, there's got to be somebody listening that has connections to Tommy Tuberville. We could connect him.
Yeah, maybe.
Why are you laughing?
Maybe.
We could do this.
I know.
can't.
We have connections.
I think we
yeah.
want to do that. Maybe as a show, that's one of the things we really go hard after. I know that that's your specialty, but people want to throw in and get behind something. That could be one of the things we do as a show, is really bring light to all the, that's not real, to here it is. Look with your own eyes. It is real. Now, what are we going to do about it?
Yeah. Oh, what he was saying, what Dr. Douglas Frank was saying about Shelby County too, should alarm everyone. I really want to dig into those numbers because, again, people think it's just Ruby Red, Alabama. It's Shelby County. It'll always be red. No, it's the creep. It's every election. You don't really notice it because they do it bit by bit by bit. And in 20 years, all of a sudden Shelby County's blue and you don't blink because you don't have that straight up line that we got during the Biden 2020 election. But it just has been happening. And we just sit there and go, oh, well, that's just the way it is. People are moving to Shelby County.
Yeah, it was a good voice, by the way. Okay.
Hey, when we get
needs a
back,
name.
can we discuss another part of the montage? I'll tell you. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah.
Okay.
We got to go to break.
Okay.
But on the other side.
Let's go to break.
Okay.
We'll be back. Spoiled.
You guys, like someday we'll have cameras on and we'll have to just mute them, but we never stop talking ever, which is so fun and how you kind of know you're in the right job. Okay. So JP, there's something it seems like you'd like to talk about from the montage. What is it?
Well, there was the part from Rep. Burleson of Missouri, who I guess is leading the charge in the UFO disclosure, claimed that the White House has been fully behind disclosing the places that allegedly have the alien craft and alien bodies, allegedly. This is also with other rumors that, who was it? A White House administrator or somebody in the know leaked anonymously that Trump's got a alien disclosure speech already written, and that this summer. Remember, you talked about it in the
no, July 8th. It's supposed to come out.
So the timing is conspicuous, but so there's already been hearings and such on aliens, and there's those public videos of like the Tic Tac ship. Y'all know what I'm talking about? That just all of a sudden, and the guys have testified and were like, that is not normal, like Earth technology. So all of that is already out, and there's already, like I said, testimonies and such talking about it. But if allegedly we're going to get access from the DoD to areas that have the craft of aliens and bodies of aliens, first of all, will they actually let them see it, or will they hide it? And two, do you think that if they do find it, it will be released to the public properly? Because I'll say this one last part. Whatever organization, I can't remember the name of it, that was leading the charge of getting into the places that have the spacecraft and bodies allegedly. Do you know what one of the places are that allegedly has alien spacecraft according to this organization?
What? Where?
Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville.
What?
Does anybody want to go and try to find it?
Which makes sense. If there were going to be spacecraft at places, Redstone will be one of them. So I don't know. Do you think this is actually going to happen?
Never. I don't think we'll ever see. Maybe we'll get a hint of something, but I do not believe that we'll ever see any of this.
Okay. So do you think it's real and they'll hide it, or do you think it's just not real at all?
I think they're demons.
Yeah.
Whatever we're dealing with, if the Bible is real, and I believe that it is, provably so, that they're demons and we're not going to see it. They could be real. I don't discount that people have seen things, but I think I believe they're seeing demons.
What do you think, Allison?
I think a lot of, well, first of all, Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day movie, which is all about aliens, drops on June 12th of this year.
Are we all going to go see it?
I don't know, because then, Trump's going to come out a month later and give this speech about how aliens are real and we have all this stuff. Where I am is I can't even, my brain right now, like I'm just trying to get through what I'm going to make for dinner tonight. So I can't wrap my brain around whether they're real or they're not, but I just want to know why. Like, why are we talking about this? Why is this all of a sudden seems very coordinated? Everybody's talking about it. And it does seem like there is some reason we're all talking about it. And I don't think it's just because we want to be transparent with the American people. That doesn't seem to ring true. So maybe that's the further discussion of whether they're real or not. They're going to say they're real. That's what's coming. But why?
That's fair.
One last bit. If anybody's listening on Redstone Arsenal, because I know we have so many listeners on Redstone Arsenal, if you want to whistleblow that there's spacecraft on Redstone Arsenal, we will protect your identity and you can be a whistleblower. Just saying.
833-687-4448. It's totally anonymous. We got you. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP. And right now we're pausing. Yes, we will come back and we're going to talk about the Kanakuk story. Perhaps we'll talk about Bill and Hillary testifying. We will do a little bit of story time with Abs today as we continue. JP's going to post my reel for me at some point in the next 24 hours about my quest to find out truth. And in the reel that we're putting out that JP is clearly collaborating with me on, because I don't know how to do this, I am putting information out there for you to go find what we're talking about so you can do your own homework. But it's really terrifying to go and disrupt what people think they know about a person. Oh dear. What happened?
I have no idea. She keeps looking at me, just laughing.
What happened was, oh my word.
For some reason, I just thought back to us trying to record that ad, and it made me all giggly again. Okay, I'm so sorry. This is so unprofessional. Keep going.
Okay, well, wait. Do we want to?
Abs, I'm so sorry.
Do we want to play the story time music, even though it was a flop last time?
Well, we can play. Nobody liked it. Maybe we should play Mr. Rogers. Should we play Mr. Rogers?
Well,
I love story.
I like story time.
I liked it too, but our listeners didn't like it.
All right, here we go. Yeah,
what did they not like?
They thought they just complained. I'm sorry, listeners.
It took me back to kindergarten. It made me happy.
I'll be very fast.
Oh, see, I want to do it again.
Okay. Boys and girls, it may have been Rosa Parks' birthday, or it is Rosa Parks' birthday today. And we talked about her on Monday, and now we're going to destroy something else that we thought we knew. And I'm a little on fire about this after watching Chad O. Jackson's documentary part 1 on MLK and the origins, and it goes way, way back. So if we will open our minds and our hearts, maybe we can agree that what we were sold was a bill of goods. So, JP,
yes,
I have a little bit for you, and it's that Blaze guy, because he's doing killer work, but he's uncovering what's true. Because why does this matter? My daughter said she really likes this when we tell them why it matters and connect the dots. She said that was good.
Oh. Yeah,
so why does this matter? Because how we think affects how we live. And if we think we're victims, we're going to act like it. But if we think we're free because we know we are, we'll also act like it. And one thing is not like the other. See what I did there, JP?
That's good. I actually really like that. If you go check out Amy Beth's reel that's up on our page today. I thought it was a really good really good way of doing it.
Thank you. That was Holy Spirit and caffeine. So let's play this reel, because this gets back to the origins of slavery and what we're looking at. Because again, how we think affects how we live. And this matters. We have been lied to. We can be mad at each other, or we can be mad at the people who've lied to us. JP, take it away.
Exposing Black history, because it literally didn't even happen. I've heard for my whole life that we can't understand American history without essentially orienting the entire conversation toward the practice of slavery. Thus, we must take time to discuss the first legally recognized slave owner in the American colonies, a Black man named Anthony Johnson. Now, I don't know why we don't learn about this guy in school. I mean, he got to Virginia in 1621. Historian Philip Foner called him the patriarch of Black property owners in America. So essentially, Anthony Johnson...
Have y'all ever heard that before?
I never have.
Have you heard that before?
Well, I knew that the first slave owner was a Black man, but I didn't know his name.
That's shocking, listeners, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, carry on.
Historian Philip Foner called him the patriarch of Black property owners in America. So essentially, Anthony Johnson was kidnapped by African slave traders in southern Africa, sold to the Portuguese, sent to Virginia, where he eventually earned his freedom. But then he would go on to purchase slaves himself, and even use the legal system that we're told is so systemically anti-Black to take a Black slave away from a white guy, and then he would end up becoming, an extraordinarily wealthy tobacco farmer. So I don't bring him up to be like, oh look, Black people can be successful successful in America. We obviously know that. It's just to say that how he obtained that level of success seems to be a bit typical for that time, wouldn't you say? So he had 5 indentured servants. He had 4 white guys and 1 black guy. A little bit of a sidebar on indentured servants. I don't know if you know this, but because indentured servitude was a temporary labor contract rather than lifetime ownership, like with slavery, they were often treated far worse than slaves were. They were worked harder, they were beaten worse, they were starved more because their masters had no long-term interest in their health, which is why the mortality rate of indentured servants was actually much higher than slaves. By the way, indentured servants in America, overwhelmingly white, just if we're keeping score. But the one black indentured servant that he had was a man named John Kaser. He claimed that his indentured servitude contract was only 7 years, and so he wanted to leave, and his wife and his kids begged Anthony Johnson to let them go. But Anthony Johnson said, "What are you talking about? There's no contract. I simply own you." So John Kaser leaves anyway to go work for this white guy on his plantation saying, "Hey, I'm a free guy now." Anthony Johnson literally chases this guy down and gets the courts involved to say, "Nope, I'm taking you away from this white guy. I actually own you for life." So because of Anthony Johnson, John Kaser became one of the first Africans in America enslaved for life as a result of civil suit rather than punishment. It's like literally on his Wikipedia page. That's what he's known for. Save me the crying about American racism when black people were literally enslaving other black people on American soil before George Washington was even born. Truth matters. I love black people.
So, I know. Like we could do without his little hilarious at the end. That's great. Whatever. So, the quest for me this month is to get to the bottom of why we believe what we believe and how many people actually knew that that man was the first slave owner or that he owned another black man indefinitely and that it was a whole legal situation. Did we know this? No, we did not. The question is, why not? Why don't we know things like this?
I mean, it doesn't help the narrative of the communists that have infiltrated our education system. It doesn't fit the narrative of just the whole story of slavery. I mean, all that was new to me. And there is the aspect of it too, like it mentioned in the video, of Africans selling other Africans in Africa to, the white people of America, but not only the white people of America, but Portuguese, like everybody globally. But telling the full picture doesn't help the narrative for the, communists. Because, we've talked about, every time we've talked about this, there's been a communist tie-in with MLK, Rosa Parks, and all of this. And I know you talked about, I think it was 2 days ago on Monday, how the communists have infiltrated the educational system. And it's not the line of production. They've just infiltrated, with kids and teaching them what they want to teach them. That's just a simple answer. It doesn't fit the full narrative and story of, it doesn't cleanly fit into what they're trying to teach.
What do you think?
What year was that? Didn't he said a year, didn't he?
It was
Anthony Johnson.
That's a great 6. No, it's after that. It was okay. When was George Washington born?
He said,
I think this was in the 1600s.
I'm trying to, I know you're right, JP, but there probably weren't, or how many black men at that time were free?
By the way, it was 1621.
Okay. Chris's ancestors got here in 1667. We're going to work on that. We're going to figure all of that out. That's what I want to know.
Okay.
How many people were enslaved? What percentage of the population? As I understand it, it was 3% of the population. But blacks compared to whites, as far as slaves go.
Okay.
Great question. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm going to have to use my brain a little bit. But to think about why we don't hear about it, I would say there's probably not a high percentage of black men that were rich enough to own slaves. Mm-hmm. But does that mean it's insignificant? Because you can't just say it was only white people. It sounds like the black people that did. Mm-hmm. And they enslaved white people and black people.
Okay, so
I'm thinking out loud. I don't.
No, this is really interesting. Oh, Carter Woodson. All right, some information because Allison, that's a great question. Yes, some Black people owned slaves in the U.S., so they were a very small minority. Around 3,000 to 4,000 Black slaveholders by 1860.
That's more than I thought, though.
Yeah. So 1830 census, historian Carter G. Woodson, who has written some really good books, found 3,776 free Black people owned 12,907 slaves, representing a tiny fraction of all enslaved people. By 1860, estimates suggest around 3,000 to 4,000 Black slave owners holding perhaps 20,000 slaves, but still a very small percentage of the total. So the proportion is that Black slave owners made up roughly 1 to 5% of all slave owners in the South. We also have to remember when it came to, we hear the Billie Eilish on, stolen land narrative. Let's not forget that in there, the Indians also owned slaves. They owned white and Black people. So there was that whole situation we never hear anything about. But that's a surprising number, isn't it? Like you'd think, how could you own each other? Like this, I don't understand. But they did. And the number was higher than you think it would be.
I mean, would it shock you if I told you that there were freed African Americans in America that chose to fight for the Confederacy? It's like stuff like that.
I learned that this morning. I knew it from school. I went to a school that told the truth. But Chad O. Jackson, I will share my login. I'll pay for your ability to have these little mini documentaries are like 22 minutes long. He talked about that very thing in part 1 today. Blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Telling the truth. My mind is blown.
Why would they do that?
Because fighting for their state, but also there was another aspect of it of were there African Americans who were a part of the aristocratic class. Not a lot, obviously, but there were some. Anthony Johnson, being an example of one. But mainly they felt like even though they were slaves and they were freed, they chose to fight alongside the Confederacy because they also, like the white soldiers of the Confederacy, were fighting for their state and loved their state. And so were they fighting for slavery? Obviously not.
No.
So it's just another example of what they don't tell you fully because it doesn't fit their full picture.
It doesn't. And so what I learned this morning, and I saw a picture of them at a reunion talking about, it's just unbelievable. Really old picture. It's beautiful. But back then when they were fighting, they didn't see themselves as citizens of the United States.
Yeah.
They saw themselves as citizens of their state.
Yeah.
And the United States was the umbrella. It's very interesting. But that was the first time I also had heard it phrased that way. So I'll also post that so people can watch it for themselves and learn on my quest. Because at my age, I'm tired of not knowing what actually happened. And kind of like Phil said earlier with following the law is, and you follow it or you don't. And if you don't follow it, you will live with the consequences. We've lived with the consequences of not being told the truth about slavery, about racism, about MLK, about Rosa Parks and others. And I'm tired of not understanding what happened. And it's all so that a group of people, generally white, can remain in control with the rest of, well, I won't even get into that. Some blacks, some whites, so that they can remain in control of the narrative and of everybody else so that they can keep their power and other people will stay underneath them and do what they want. It's unbelievable. So there you go. Story time with Abs on a quest.
Love that music.
Can we put our head down?
Yes. It's time to take a nap. Gosh, only somebody would make me take a nap.
I wish we could go out to that music, but unfortunately we
can't.
can't. We gotta go out to the big loud.
Do it. Yep, the electric guitar.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP. So before we roll into the 4 o'clock hour and Allison's hot flash news, we have text. JP.
Let's see. Where should we start? We got Connor from Huntsville, first of all, telling me that that information will be highly compartmentalized, and it would take about 15 minutes to figure out who spilled the beans on it if anybody from Redstone wants to whistle blow. So,
Okay. So basically, nobody's going to text in that there are aliens at C40
way to be a buzzkill, Cameron
grid.
or Connor. Probably not. Scott from Decatur also says that Anthony Johnson was not the first slave owner in America. He was the first person to use the colonial legal system to enslave a person for life.
Okay. That's what.
Yeah. That.
Wait.
He was not the first slave owner. He was the first one to use the legal system to have a slave for life.
He is also, though, listed as the first Black slave owner who did that.
Okay.
That's the differential.
Yes.
Now, that means he really wanted slaves.
Yes. Yes. So no one
And
could leave.
I don't know why so a Black man could use the legal system.
Yes.
Okay.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of tears apart what you
I didn't know that.
thought you were told.
Mike from Florence says, Allison, that is definitely relevant as it was much or more about financial standing. Some people seem to believe it was only Black people that picked cotton. A lot of poor white people did too. When I left home at 16 and moved in with a friend, his mom told me she was one of those cotton pickers. As a side but related story, she told me about a neighbor that would carry a 50-pound burlap sack of corn 5 miles to have it ground to then carry it back.
Wait, this is in Alabama?
Yeah, he's in Florence.
Wow. Some people were a lot stronger then in so many ways.
And so are we differentiating now between, and have we always used indentured servant and slave in the same way, because they really aren't the same, correct?
That's correct. And I don't know that we have differentiated that. I think we've been told one story and that's all. It hasn't veered from that or expanded at all. And so that was when I watched that yesterday. That was the first time I found out about, like, we know from the Bible that people would become somebody's bondservant in order to pay off debt.
Right.
I did not know that indentured servants were treated sometimes worse, or that was a whole thing in and of itself. I didn't know that.
But the indentured servants weren't purchased. They were working off, hey, I fed your family for a year and you never paid me back for that. And so now you've got to come work for me.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
It's like in the Bible where non-Christians like to twist scripture and to say that the Bible endorses slavery when it was actually talking about indentured servants.
Yes.
So
correct.
It's the same thing.
Correct.
We'll do one more text here. This person is unnamed. It says, remember with the 2024 election that there were congressional seats that weren't decided until days after the election. That's likely what Tuberville was talking about. And most of those races, the Republicans were winning or were close until ultimately in the end, the Democrats won.
Good call, Anonymous. You're right. I forgot about that. Oh, we're just not going to I think Arizona was like that. We're not going to have them counted. It's going to be 10 more days. Oh, please tell me you're cheating without telling me you're cheating.
Yeah.
We just need more time to make up ballots. Losers. Okay, we'll be back with hot flash news and news too. We'll be back.
So I want to remind you, Inspire Advisors is one of our sponsors, and they are doing amazing work. Look, I know this audience. You're the kind of folks who believe in standing up for your principles. You're good stewards of what you have for resources. What if the companies you are investing in, though, don't reflect your values at all? Well, that's why you need to meet Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors. Inspire Advisors, experts in the field of biblically responsible investing. Look, they can help you grow your bottom line while also being proud of what companies you invest in. Inspire Advisors. You got to check them out. Here's their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. That's Inspire Advisors, www.moneypatternwealth.com, and tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison and JP having a Wednesday hump day. You know, we didn't talk about Nacho Average Show on Tuesday yesterday, but we are saying it on Wednesday. And it is What the Hell County Wednesday. But I don't know if Allison's Hot Flash News will reflect that it's What the Hell County Wednesday.
Well, I think my first story is pretty good.
Okay. Do we need Hot Flash News?
Yes, we need the
intro.
sizzle.
JP's.
I was waiting for
sizzle
my
music.
cue.
Oh,
JP.
Q.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna miss her.
I'm not.
You're not. I mean, she's just so cute.
She is cute.
She a high.
I mean,
stepper.
yeah. I'm gonna miss Mimo so much.
Like, not gonna lie, I bet she would be fun to party with.
No, she's a bitter old lady that doesn't.
Do you
wanna...
think so?
Yes.
When she gets
JP.
into the gin, I bet she tells stories.
Bet she's
Anytime
fun.
I've heard the same. Okay, we're not gonna go into it, but yeah.
Are you going to tell
You've
us
heard
in the break?
same stories from Kay
Yes,
Ivy for
about her.
years. Oh,
Every
about here.
people like how she doesn't want to take pictures with people. She's rude. She's short.
Well, that's because she's losing her mind.
Well,
Literally.
yeah, but no, I don't.
She's short.
No, I meant
She's
physically
abrupt.
short, but
Oh,
she's-
physically short.
No,
she
but she's
is,
both.
She is
Okay.
short.
Yeah, that's not what I meant though. But yeah,
Okay. So, did y'all know that new SNAP requirements are coming down?
News.
New SNAP, not whatever. Clock
it. And
Yeah.
not like snap at.
No, for SNAP benefits. And
Okay.
this is like, what the hell county? Listen to what the new requirements are.
Okay, I'm girding my
Okay,
loins.
This is like, whoa. They're so afraid people are going to have to come off SNAP because these are the requirements.
Okay.
The new ones.
Okay.
For people 18 to 64 who don't have dependents under 14.
Okay.
Okay. That means if you have dependents under 14, these rules do not apply to you. Okay. Think about that.
Okay.
Is that why people continue to have babies?
Yes.
Okay. The new requirements. This is earth shattering. Say they must work, participate in employment and training programs, or volunteer at least 80 hours per month. If they don't, they can only receive SNAP benefits for 3 months within a 3-year period.
Oh, my word.
Why are we just now doing this?
I'm not sure.
And so you're saying you have to work, but you can still get SNAP? Do you see what I'm saying?
that defeats the purpose.
This whole thing is just bass backwards.
That was good.
I
That
had
was
to really think about
You
that.
did. I saw the Branicle working.
Okay, first of all, if you have dependents younger than 14, you don't have to work.
Yeah, essentially.
You don't even have to try to work. You don't even have to volunteer. But you must work or participate in employment and training programs or volunteer at least 80 hours per month. And if you don't, then you can't receive SNAP. So what are we doing? We're incentivizing not working and working.
Yes.
And if you just keep having babies and constantly having somebody that's younger than 14 as a dependent, then you don't have to abide by those.
And yes. And people will do that. That has been my experience when I was in schools speaking, is people would have babies to get money. That's just the way they set it up. This is so confusing.
So the Congressional Budget Office is estimating that the new rules will reduce SNAP participation by 2.4 million people over the next decade. How many people are currently enrolled in SNAP benefits, the SNAP benefits program? Let's play a guessing game.
How many people are enrolled in the SNAP benefit program? More than we think.
JP, you cheated.
I'm supposed to answer. I'm supposed to provide the answer to you.
Okay.
No, I've got it right here. You were supposed to guess.
20 million.
Okay.
Now I know.
Well, yeah. Can you look up how many people are in America right now? Is it still about 350 million?
Yeah.
Okay. 42 million Americans.
Oh my word.
So 15% of the population is on Snap.
Also, that was great math.
I don't know.
That's embarrassing.
That is embarrassing. And Congress and the Republicans are like, we're going to reduce it by 2.4 million in 10 years. And we're still going to give it to you even if you, I don't know. I don't understand this.
Yeah.
It's all a racket.
What was a video of the people that were shocked about, well, why would I not use my food stamps on soda and junk food?
Yeah. It means nothing
it's
to
not
them.
just what like they're on Snap, but what they're using it on. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yellowhammer is reporting, okay, James Lomax, who actually is the Huntsville rep that Mo Brooks is running against,
Okay.
has brought a bill forward. And this is interesting. A 2024 report from Americans for Public Trust found that a Swiss billionaire funneled close to $100 million through a dark money organization to influence state ballot campaigns across the country. And this included measures on abortion, election law, redistricting, etc. And so James Lomax has a bill that prohibits foreign nationals from directly or indirectly donating to political candidates or political action committees in any Alabama election, including races involving candidates, constitutional amendments, or referendums. What do y'all think about that?
Hold on. I got to ask a question.
Yeah, ask it.
Here's my question. When we use the term dark money, how would you describe what that means?
Well, that is probably going through a 501c4 where you don't have to list who, like this guy, this Swiss billionaire probably gave money to 501c4s, which I don't know how they would find it out actually, because you give anonymously. And that's why a lot of people use C4s because, I mean, people will talk about them like they're really bad. Like, oh, it's dark money. Well, no, some people just want to be able to support who they support without political retribution. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not necessarily bad. It's not like everybody that gives to a C4 is shady. The point of this, though, is there is a Swiss billionaire that is giving hundreds of millions of dollars to affect our elections across America. I just think that that's how important we are. And I'm guessing he's probably not a Republican or a conservative.
Right.
And so that's how much we have to stay vigilant. And it's kind of like Zuck Bucks and Soros and all that to protect ourselves from this. I mean, and you know, the other part of this is people will say it's an Alabama race. Well, I mean, you're getting a lot of out-of-state money. I think that's different. We have friends all over the country. I mean, when you ran, I'm sure you got donations from your friends in South Carolina and your friends in Florida. That's a little bit different. But when you've got giant billionaires influencing American elections, I mean,
we've got problems.
I don't know James Lomax, but good on him. It's good.
That is good.
So did we hear, and the Clintons have agreed to testify?
Yes, they have.
They have, yep.
When is that happening?
Let's see.
I love that because that sounds like Meet the Parents when he's at the airport. That's my favorite.
They are scheduled to testify. I'm not seeing a date.
Okay. Well, I think we already talked about that, but they dodged the first testimony, right? They didn't show up.
Yeah.
So now they're like a contempt.
27th of February, Bill Clinton will be testifying and Hillary will appear the day before. So the 26th and the 27th of this month.
Now, I've heard that she is suddenly sick.
That's shocking.
Like,
she doesn't look good. So I read that in the news.
I mean, like she has the flu or she's dying?
She has the flu. I'm not going to be there-itis.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to plead the fifth to anything. This is going to be a nothing burger.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
And then they're going to go across the street to that fancy club and have actual burgers and like laugh at us.
The Capitol Hill Club.
That's where they're going.
That's where you can find them all. Garland Gudger, Senate Pro Tem, said, quote, "The coming weeks in the legislature will be spicy."
Ooh. What kind of spice is he suggesting?
I don't know. He said within the next 2 or 3 weeks, get a little bit of popcorn and some Twizzlers and hang out there with us for a while. We're going to be fighting back and forth a little bit more.
It's going to be gambling.
It is going to be gambling. But I thought they weren't going to do anything fun. They weren't going to do anything controversial.
Well, plans have changed.
Yeah. Somebody, yeah. Well, I was going to say he lied, but he didn't lie. Probably, or maybe he did. I don't know. But he probably just did not expect it genuinely.
Well, Marika Coleman did drop the gambling bill. And here's the thing, and I need to dig into the language a little bit, but she says that it's a clean lottery bill from what I understand, but you really can't have a clean lottery bill because once you remove the verbiage in the Constitution that says there shall be no game of chance, it's why you can't play bingo in schools or you can't have a raffle to raise money for kids. Once you remove that, because that's all a lottery is, then it opens the door for all of these other gaming things to come down the track. And it's kind of like Dale Jackson, if y'all are following along.
This bit is hilarious.
You want to explain it? Because you know what, is it Kibashi?
No, it's Kalshi.
I wasn't so far off.
Kalshi, which is like the poly market sort of stuff where you can.
What's a poly market?
Poly market is like predictions for anything. Like you can go and place bets that the aliens will be announced later this year. There's actually, I think, one of Jesus will come back this year. You know, it's just random stuff like that. Not just one area, but all across all life. And so those are Kalshi is technically legal in Alabama. So Dale has been making money. I think he's made like $500 doing a bit to show that gambling is illegal in Alabama. Oh, except Kalshi, where I just made $500 betting on stupid crap.
And you can get around it because you actually are like, okay, I bet it's going to rain today. Well, you can do research and look at the clouds and be like, yeah, it's looking like it's going to. So the idea is that it's not a game of chance. It's a game of, have you done your research?
Yeah. And that there's one of, you know, there's ones on everything. So yeah, it doesn't fit in the nice box of what's technically illegal in Alabama. So it's allowed, but it's just ridiculous. And Dale's showing how ridiculous it is.
I got 2 more quick, not the B stories. Did y'all see Patrick Mahomes' dad was arrested again this week?
Yeah, again.
What was he arrested for?
Violating his probate.
Oh, why do you violate your probation?
Pleasant. Dude. All right.
It's Super Bowl week.
Be better.
Trump plans to install a statue of Christopher Columbus outside the White House.
All right.
He's just a troll.
Don.
Just an absolute troll.
That's
all I
awesome.
got.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's good news.
That's your quick news rundown.
Very good. Thank you.
What else do we have? We have some more stories from the montage to cover, right?
We do.
And
we do. Did we say we wanted to do a 3 at 4:30?
Do a 3 when we come back. How about let's talk about Kanakuk?
How about that?
Well,
how about
yeah,
that?
I think that's good. And y'all can enlighten me because
we still need to find that button.
How
Cash
about
me
that?
outside.
Cash me outside. How about that?
Is she Chinese?
She is now.
I don't think she is.
I don't think she is.
She's
either.
not.
We'll be back.
doing some of his MMA moves. The way he kicked that door shut.
Oh, he did kick it.
Just
Yeah,
pow.
It looked like Kung Fu Panda.
Did you
Everybody
like that?
was kung fu fight. Yeah,
That's
that.
pretty good.
Okay. So we're gonna just quickly jump into a story we previewed in the 2:00 hour, but it's this whole Camp Kanakuk situation, and it is a big deal. And it is a big deal because one of the most popular podcasters in the world, Sean Ryan, was told to stop talking about this story, which smacks of arrogance and more abuse. Because there are plenty of people who've come forward to talk about it. I was looking. So these camps, there's a lot of people that have been at these camps, Allison Sinclair, like a lot. 500,000 over the years.
Are you talking about
in general, like over
outside
all
of
these
Kanakuk,
years?
or you mean Kanakuk camps?
Kanakuk camps since 1926 has hosted more than 500,000 campers and 50,000 staffers in Missouri and its many international locations. These stories that we heard about happened in Missouri.
It's in Branson, right?
And yes, in Branson, Missouri. And it's a sports camp. Like it's a fun evangelical sports themed camp. Is that fair to say?
I don't know that.
Well, ish.
It's just where all the cool kids go.
Yeah. Well, Peter Newman, who was one of the camp's directors, years ago pleaded guilty to sexually abusing 6 boys. But since then, the camp has touted itself as a leader in child safety, holding seminars, etc. Except interviews with dozens of victims and former camp employees reported that they didn't seek justice for the victims. They prioritized ministering to those accused of wrongdoing, which makes me shake my head. Did you know about this story before? Did you find the Sean Ryan clip?
Yeah, but I had heard like years ago, because we know so many people whose kids have been there and who went there as kids. I remember hearing it's so weird. Hearing stories about a hot tub or something, like something that happened. This was years ago though. So I wasn't necessarily, and this is just alleged, but I wasn't really surprised when this started coming out, because in my head, they've always had issues, but they were very well pushed down and kind of suppressed. And so, but I think now they're really panicking, because it's not even like they told Sean Ryan it wasn't true. Like it's almost like they never said from what I understand, they never said what you're saying isn't true. They just said, we want you to stop saying it.
Yes. And that's the worst part.
Yes. And so, I mean, he's talking about the guy being in prison for fondling kids, boys. Well, that's very true. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna have to dig in it more. But if Sean Ryan is part of this conversation now, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah,
because he's got a
care.
backbone, and he said, "Hey, if you want to sue me, you know, like you know where I am."
Now, if there's nothing there, then Sean Ryan needs to apologize and backtrack and say, you know, I was given bad information, but it does not seem like he's doing that at all.
Not at all. Seems like he's doing it and advocating for the victims.
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll dig in a little bit more, and over the coming weeks, if we find out more, we'll let you know. But it's kind of a big deal. Real big deal.
Maybe check into it before you send your kids to camp there this summer. Oh, we'll be back.
Hey, my friends, Phil Williams here. You've heard me talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out the companies that don't stand for conservative Christian principles. Look, they are experts in what is known as biblically responsible investing, and they are now offering a limited opportunity for a free class on that BRI. Check out the class, register for free, their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly, it's conservative, it's financial freedom, y'all, with Inspire Advisors at www.moneypatternwealth.com. Check them out. Tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Welcome back to Rightside. I am Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. Just, doing a quick 3 at 4:30 of stories we've been hanging on to. And JP, you're up first.
Wait. Say what what segment we're doing.
Oh, we are doing the 3. It's so good.
If you're old, you'll know what that's from.
Hey, on the text line, guess what was that?
I didn't know until they told me.
You know what it is. You know what it is.
You're just a baby.
Is it my turn?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But you're really old in your soul.
I really am.
You are.
Spotify thinks I'm 55. I think it was.
You're
58.
way more mature
Wait,
than I
you
am.
remembered it better than I did.
Yes.
58.
Okay. Well, it looks like we're going to war with Iran.
What?
That may be a little bit of a hyperbolic way to say it, but not really. So while the USS Lincoln has made its way to the Middle East and been within striking range of Iran, which has been the case for about a week, the U.S. and Iran have been ongoing negotiations to try to work a deal out. But obviously, our ship being where it is and within striking distance is our point of leverage, and trying to corner them into making a deal on nuclear talks. Because if you remember with the strikes this summer, Fordo and I think Katansk was the name of the other one, the nuclear facilities were destroyed. However, the uranium is still out there somewhere. The enriched uranium is, still able to be used and be enriched. So there's been talks to try to stop that. Well, there was a plan for the U.S. and Iran to talk this Friday in Istanbul, and the U.S. to be there alongside other Middle Eastern countries to talk to Iran about not just nuclear talks, but their missiles and all of such. Iran wanted the talks to be held in Oman, only between the U.S. and Iran bilaterally, and stick strictly to nuclear talks. And apparently this happened earlier today. And according to Axios, the U.S. said, nope, we're doing it our way, or it can be done. And apparently Iran goes, okay, it can be done. And we'll just, so be it. We'll walk away. And as of earlier this morning, it looked like some talks of what the strikes will look like since Iran walked away. Apparently, according to Axios, the Trump administration did not expect that response. But as of a couple of hours ago, it looks like things have cooled down a little bit, and there will be talks held in Amman this Friday between the U.S. and Iran to talk nuclear discussions. However, yesterday, Iran flew a drone towards the USS Lincoln. So a little unclear if it was surveillance drone or actually trying to strike the ship, but it's getting tense over there between the U.S. and Iran. So we'll see what comes of the talks Friday. It looks like the U.S. has obliged by what Iran wants, and there will be bilateral talks in Oman between them two. But I think eventually, I'm not sure Iran is going to, because what Trump wants is you are done enriching uranium, period, the end. And Iran does not want that because on their side of it, they feel threatened by Israel and the United States, and the enriched uranium is their tool to come to the table with. So I'm not sure Iran's going to give Trump what he wants and full, surrender of the nuclear program. So the question is, when that happens, what will the strikes look like, and how devastating will they be? I think is the discussion to have. So
Interesting. All eyes, because we can't see what's going on there right now. I mean, it's a blackout.
Right. And apparently
we hear horrifying things are going on.
Well, yeah. So it's hard to see. And then first off, I think the protests have dimmed down a bit. And there were some talks about that the Trump administration was weighing doing strikes to try to boost the morale of the protesters again and to keep going for a regime change. But we'll see. The talks are now on, but as of earlier this morning, it looked like all had kind of fallen apart. But the talks will still be going on Friday between Iran and the U.S. We'll see what comes of that. But the Lincoln is still sitting within striking range of Iran. So as long as that's the case, this is going to be tense. So
don't start a fight with someone you don't intend to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That makes me a little nervous.
Agree.
I mean, we watch. I guess we're winning in Minneapolis. Seems like things have calmed down a little bit since Tommy got there. But right now, Trump is making me nervous with his resolve.
Yeah.
And this is one, if you say it, you got to do it. Otherwise.
Please, or they will have us on our heels. And
yeah,
we end up where we always end up, which is with nothing.
This will just be my last piece on it. But I don't think this is something we need to be spending all of our attention on, because all of our resources that are in the Middle East, if you remember, we had to bring the Lincoln from our hemisphere over to the Middle East after the Maduro raid just for this. And so that's resources outside of our hemisphere we're having to spend in the Middle East over Iran and their uranium, when I'm sorry, I'm just not convinced that they're anywhere close to having a nuclear weapon, no matter who says whatever. But we'll see.
Miss Sinclair.
Oh, okay. Y'all are going to have to bear with me because Thomas Massey put out, we still call them tweets, put out a tweet yesterday talking about all the earmarks and funding that he tried to get removed in the House and the amendments that he offered that didn't have to do with funding, but to remove certain specifications that were in this appropriations bill. So before I begin, I would like to ask y'all a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is the majority in the House?
Republicans.
Last time I checked, it was Republicans.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
Okay.
As I read this.
Okay.
So the $5 billion that they wanted to include for refugee welfare,
Yes.
still in there. This goes to healthcare, daycare, and job programs for refugees in America. Again, all 5 of our congressmen, Republicans, voted for that. $315 million for Ned.
Still.
Okay. Which is a joke. $3.3 trillion to Israel. And it's mainly to fund their military in the Iron Dome. Okay, this one got me. $1.5 trillion to Egypt.
Why?
Well, it's the Egypt Assistance Fund. Silly. Oh, it's a National Security Investment Program.
Oh, wait. So it's not for the Christians who live in the trash piles in Egypt. This is for something different.
Yeah. No, this is for higher education programs in Egypt and scholarships for Egyptian students with high financial need to attend not-for-profit institutions of higher education in Egypt.
What are we doing?
We have kids in America that work years to pay off student loans, and we are spending $1.5 trillion to fund higher education in Egypt. Y'all, this was what was in the final bill that passed. Every single Republican in Congress voted for this except for Thomas Massey. So if you're thinking, well, what about blank? Yes. Even our favorites, Tim Burchett, who has been railing against this whole time, all this stuff, voted for it. Anna Paulina Luna railed against this for weeks, voted for it. Ralph Norman, my favorite congressman, South Carolina, voted for it. Barry Moore, voted for it. Dale Strong, Gary Palmer, Mike Rogers, Adderholt, all voted for this. And it's not even over. The Jordanians get $2.1 trillion, $700 million for foreign HIV and AIDS. Yeah. Global HIV and AIDS.
Huh. So Bill Gates can continue doing what he's always done. Cute.
They also refused to take out an amendment with that allowed that. Well, okay, so it's still in there that the government can install a kill switch in your vehicle.
Wait. They can still, like Germany, kill our car if they want to?
Yeah. Thomas Massey wrote an amendment to HR 7148, which is the one that also he tried to take the refugee, or Ralph Norman tried to take the refugee welfare out of. This was another amendment he brought that would prevent the government from installing kill switches in your cars. That didn't pass. Remind you, who has the majority in Congress?
The Republicans.
Massey offered an amendment to freeze the funds for daycare fraud. Blocked. Massey offered an amendment to stop warrantless surveillance of Americans via loopholes in FISA, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Blocked. I mean, it just goes on and on. My amendment to stop the creation of central bank digital currencies that would be used for financial surveillance and control of your wallet. Blocked. The SAVE Act. Blocked.
Okay, wait. The SAVE Act, you mean where American citizens have to vote?
Yeah,
not other people.
You have to prove, and you have to be an American citizen to vote in our election. Blocked. by Republicans. There's no other way around it. Every single Republican voted for this to pass all of this yesterday, except for Thomas Massey.
So are these the same Republicans, some of whom, and here I go, oops, who don't like to be questioned when they go against their usually very conservative values? Are these the same people?
But Amy Beth, you don't understand.
Yeah, but
you're right. I don't understand. I don't like it when I've heard other congressional people, maybe from our state, maybe not, say that phrase. You don't understand. Or they say, you have no idea what you're talking about. Okay. Those are phrases narcissists use so that they can maintain control. Republicans from Alabama, what in the Hale County were you thinking? We get to ask that question because you work for us. You're doing our bidding. And clearly, though, you're doing your own. So we're going to continue asking questions. Some of you are going to continue getting your knickers in a twist. But that just means people didn't ask you enough questions along the way. Because we want the bottom, we want the truth, we want to figure this out. If we're all wrong, tell us we're wrong without being a narcissist about it. Tell us that we don't understand, that you are spending our money willy-nilly as if you had not a care in the world, because clearly you don't. But do not blame us for asking you questions. That's called gaslighting, and we have had, sirs, enough.
Remember when your mom used to get like your friend's mom would yell at your friend?
Yeah.
And everybody got really uncomfortable?
Yeah.
That was me just then.
Well, we got to give props. Didn't Tuberville and Britt vote against the refugee welfare program in the Senate?
They did.
So it's just, I agree with you. And somebody even texted into the text line. It was Mike from Athens who said, how else were they going to get the Dems what they needed? You got to give to get, which I actually would disagree. I don't think. Sure. I mean, I don't know. There may be some concessions that need to be made to reopen the government, but those are ones that you can't, if you claim to be a conservative, you cannot budge on. And like I said, nuke the filibuster in the Senate, and we don't have to give the Democrats to get. But again, the Republicans like to play by the rules where Democrats don't. So
yeah, and a reminder that this came from the Senate. So, and all the votes got kind of jumbled. But I'm thinking, can you look this up in the break?
Mhm.
How our senators voted on that one? Because Katie Britt was the one, and we played the clip of her. I mean, she's in the Oval Office.
Yep.
Talking to President Trump about how monumental it is that they passed this bill, and how Speaker Johnson was able to do such a good job and work together. I mean, she clearly has been in the midst of this negotiation and working back and forth. And again, I look at some of the really good House members that voted for this, and I don't get it either. I don't understand why. Because for weeks, they all have been standing up and saying, we're not going to fund this. You know, we're going to demand the SAVE Act. We're going to do that. And then everybody just folded. But I can't remember how Tuberville and Britt voted on this in the end. So we'll find that during the break. Oh, and then you got to do yours.
Well, I don't have time. It's fine.
No, you do.
I'll do it for tomorrow.
No, we can do it when we get back. We
Guys.
have one would you rather?
It's just a real quick clip.
Yeah.
That you have.
Yeah, okay, well then we can play it on the other side.
All right, fine.
Okay, we'll be back. We'll be quick.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio, finishing up a Wednesday. So here's a little tidbit of a story. Stop me if you've heard this. This was from Peter Schweitzer, who was on with Jesse Waters last night. Did you know that there are more than a dozen Mexican senators and members of Mexico's House of Representatives who live in the United States? Did you know that?
No.
What is it?
Yeah. They've already built an infrastructure inside the U.S. Mod Squad Anti-Communist says this is true. Contact your Congressman and Secretary Rubio and demand that something be done. All members of Mexico's Senate and representatives must be kicked out of the U.S. Mexico has set up a satellite government in the U.S., and then they have provided documents here to support. And then Peter Schweitzer was on Jesse Waters last night to go over it all.
But is it wrong to have a vacation home in America?
I think they live here. They're like,
how can you live here and be in the Senate?
It's a great question.
Well, it's a real good question. I don't know, but it's a thing. And Peter Schweitzer, he does all the kind of deep dive stuff. He's got a book out about it. This is
Schweitzer.
What he's uncovered. So he's done books on the Clintons, on corruption, on who's, running things. This apparently is his latest whatever. But yes, there are many Mexican senators and representatives who just live in the United States.
That makes you feel good.
Uh-huh. I thought we'd appreciate that story. It's happy.
So on that note,
yeah,
we did find out during the break that both Senator Britt and Senator Tuberville voted for this appropriations bill package. The only Republicans in the Senate that voted against it, Ted Cruz, Ron Johnson, Mike Lee, Rand Paul, and Rick Scott. And then it's funny. So there were 5 Republicans that voted against it, and then 24 Democrats that voted against it. It's one of those weird.
That's weird.
Who brought up horseshoe theory?
Yep.
Oh, Rich Lusk.
Yeah.
Yeah. How at some point, everybody goes around the circle and the extremes on both sides meet.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of weird. But
that's really, really weird. So, look, these are people we appreciate, but we still want to know why.
Like, we'll never know why.
No, we won't.
We're just left because we're not privy to
we're
that
the
kind
Rams.
of information.
We're not going to ever find out. And that's fine. It's fine.
But don't get mad at us when we guess and hypothesize ish on what's happening. All we know is what we see from the outside, unless you want to call and be an informant and a whistleblower,
which we'd love. We can even alter your voice.
Redstone.
Yeah.
You too.
I'll perform the table and people that
Would you rather only eat ice cream or only eat donuts?
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Donuts.
Gives me.
Have a few donuts before you feel really bad.
Okay, that's not true. Okay, we got time for one more. Would you rather it be Christmas or Halloween?
I hate
Christmas.
Halloween.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Halloween's
Christmas.
lame when you're like not 12 anymore.
Yeah. No.
You gotta buy your own candy.
I'm definitely Christmas.
However, I do know my Halloween costume this year.
Are you still going Maduro?
I gotta go Maduro. That is one of the best things I've ever seen. Nike Tech with the stuff over his eyes, and he's
yeah.
He had like 6 outfit changes.
He
though,
did.
So maybe you change your outfit throughout Halloween night.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, it was fun. It kind of flew by. What's tomorrow? Conspiracy Thinker Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh
Good
gosh.
stuff.
We'll see y'all then.